this multi-year investigation targeted members of two Sureño street gangs in Oakland, and residents were shocked.
OPD was there as well, even an ambulance on scene. We're not quite sure why that's there.
There's about 10 FBI agents who are inside this house.
FBI and local authorities executed a biggest operation across Oakland's neighborhood, marking the end of a 4-year joint investigation into one of Northern California's most violent criminal networks. Just before sunrise, FBI SWAT teams and Oakland Police Department tactical units surrounded multiple residences along Colombo Street and Fruitvale Avenue, locations long identified as safe houses for the Oakland Sureños, a prison-linked street gang operating under the control of the Mexican Mafia, also known as La M. Within minutes, flashbangs illuminated the streets as agents breached reinforced doors and extracted suspects at gunpoint. Neighbors reported hearing commands shouted in Spanish and English as armored vehicles rolled through narrow residential lanes. By morning, 9 suspected gang members were in custody, including mid-level shot callers and street enforcers. 2 additional members were already serving sentences in state facilities, while 1 fugitive remains at large. Officials described the takedown as the final phase of an operation that dismantled a Mexican Mafia satellite organization, responsible for 2 murders, 3 attempted murders, and extensive narcotics and firearms trafficking throughout the East Bay. According to the FBI, the Oakland Sureños acted as a northern extension of the prison-based Mexican Mafia command structure, funneling drug profits and weapons back into California's correctional system to sustain imprisoned leaders. Inside those prisons,
the shootings have been across the board throughout our community, extremely dangerous. It's put our entire community at risk.
La M maintains rigid control over affiliated Hispanic gangs, collecting mandatory taxes from street-level members and using violence to enforce discipline. Federal prosecutors said the Oakland cell mirrored that command system outside prison walls, a direct operational arm of the Mexican Mafia, using coded communication, cartel partnerships, and violent enforcement to protect its narcotics trade. Court filings reveal that the gang's power base centered around 2 dominant cliques, San Antonio Park and Southside Locos. These factions divided East Oakland's neighborhoods like military zones, converting public spaces such as Estuary Park and Arroyo Viejo Park into open-air drug markets and intimidation grounds. SAP members maintained lookout posts and used encrypted group chats to report police movement in real time, while SSL 502 controlled firearms storage and recruited minors for low-level drug distribution. Residents described years of fear, daily gunfire, extortion of small businesses, and constant graffiti warnings declaring gang ownership. According to federal investigators, the Sureños weren't just dealers. They functioned as an organized supply chain, moving methamphetamine, fentanyl, cocaine, and heroin through Oakland into neighboring cities, all under orders transmitted from prison via contraband cell phones. Agents emphasized that the Oakland branch served as both an armory and a distribution hub for the broader Mexican Mafia enterprise. Weapons seized in prior raids in Los Angeles, Stockton, and Modesto were traced back to the same network now dismantled in the Bay Area. This was not an isolated crew, one FBI official said. They were soldiers answering to a command structure that extends from cell blocks in Pelican Bay to street corners in East Oakland. The success of the raid, officials added, was due to years of coordinated surveillance, wiretaps, and undercover operations that mapped the gang's leadership hierarchy and its links to cartel suppliers moving narcotics up from Mexico through Southern California. The morning's arrests effectively decapitated the Oakland Sureños leadership, cutting off the last known Mexican Mafia enforcement line in Northern California. For years, the Oakland Sureños ruled East Oakland through intimidation, extortion, and fear, treating public parks, housing blocks, and even school zones as pieces of territory in a larger criminal chessboard. Federal court filings describe how the gang divided its zones into cliques that reported directly to imprisoned Mexican Mafia leaders. The SAP clique San Antonio Park operated from the heart of East Oakland, establishing open-air narcotics sales near playgrounds and basketball courts. Meanwhile, Southside Locos expanded their reach southward, taking over sections around 72nd Avenue, Arroyo Viejo Park, and adjacent corridors near International Boulevard. Agents said both cliques used these areas as command posts, fortified by lookouts, gang associates, and neighborhood enforcers. Locals lived under constant pressure to pay street taxes, hand over portions of their income, or stay silent. Graffiti tags weren't just markings, they were warnings. Residents knew exactly which blocks belonged to the Mexican Mafia's street arm and what defiance would cost. That cost, investigators say, was human life. Federal prosecutors linked the Oakland Sureños to at least 2 execution-style murders and 3 attempted murders carried out between 2018 and 2021. Victims included rival gang members, defectors, and civilians accused of disrespecting the organization. According to ballistic analysis, most of the killings were executed with handguns, later traced to cartel-connected suppliers in Southern California. Agents discovered that kill orders originated from prison, often transmitted through coded letters or contraband cell phones smuggled into state facilities such as Pelican Bay, Corcoran, and Folsom State Prison. Those messages, known as green lights, authorized local soldiers to carry out shootings or beatings on behalf of LAM. In several cases, the gang's enforcers used encrypted chat apps to confirm completed work back to imprisoned shot callers. Officials said these communications provided clear evidence that the Oakland Sureños functioned as a paramilitary extension of the Mexican Mafia, not a loose street gang. When the raids concluded, agents recovered an arsenal that demonstrated just how heavily armed the network had become. Inside stash houses on Fruitvale Avenue and East 31st Street, FBI evidence teams uncovered multiple AR-15 rifles, shotguns, handguns with extended magazines, and ballistic vests. The seizures also included several pounds of methamphetamine, cocaine, fentanyl, and heroin, along with ledgers documenting narcotics transactions, prison tax payments, and coded initials of buyers and runners. Some weapons were traced back to murders in Los Angeles and Modesto, linking the Oakland cell directly to broader cartel supply chains. Agents described the operation as a hybrid pipeline, a fusion of street gang manpower, cartel drug financing, and prison-based command. The Sureños' profits were sent back to imprisoned Mexican Mafia leaders through kites, coded notes, and money drops organized by family members, girlfriends, and shell businesses. Federal investigators explained that LAM, the Mexican Mafia, operates as a national network, running thousands of Hispanic gangs across the western United States under a single command structure. Each local faction owes allegiance and payment to imprisoned leaders known as generals or shot callers. In exchange for protection and status, these groups agree to enforce discipline and eliminate rivals. Members who fail to pay their taxes or obey orders face swift execution, either on the streets or inside prison. The Mexican Mafia is not a gang, one official stated during the press briefing. It's a criminal army, and this Oakland cell was one of its forward operating bases. According to the FBI, the dismantling of the Sureños East Bay Command will significantly weaken LAM's ability to move narcotics, collect extortion money, and maintain control over regional Hispanic street gangs. Agents said it was the most significant Mexican Mafia disruption in Northern California in more than a decade. By sunrise, the FBI's Bay Area Safe Streets Task Force, working alongside Oakland Police, DEA, and Homeland Security investigations, confirmed that the entire Oakland Sureños command structure had been neutralized. 8 tactical teams executed 16 federal search and arrest warrants simultaneously, striking homes, garages, and gang-controlled storefronts across East Oakland and San Leandro. Agents seized dozens of firearms, narcotics, digital ledgers, and cell phones used to coordinate operations between incarcerated members and street lieutenants. Inside one safe house, investigators found a bulletproof vest embroidered with La M Norte, a symbol federal officials called a declaration of allegiance to a prison empire. FBI Assistant Director Akil Davis said the morning's raids represented a death blow to the Mexican Mafia's Northern California command. The coordinated action, he added, cut off both the supply chain and the communication line that linked Oakland's Sureño faction to imprisoned Mexican Mafia generals. Their hierarchy is broken, Davis stated. Their shooters are in custody. Their supply line is in federal hands. This is the end of the Oakland Sureños. At a press conference later that afternoon, U.S. Attorney Craig H. Misakian described the takedown as one of the largest Mexican Mafia-affiliated indictments in Bay Area history. The defendants, 9 in total, were charged under the Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations (RICO Act), a statute designed to dismantle criminal enterprises by prosecuting leadership, not just foot soldiers. The indictment also included counts of murder, attempted murder, conspiracy to traffic narcotics, and possession of firearms by felons. Federal prosecutors detailed how gang leaders ordered killings from behind bars, laundered drug profits through relatives, and paid taxes to maintain their standing within LIM. Oakland residents deserve safe neighborhoods, not ones ruled by fear and cartel-backed killers, Misakian said. The Justice Department has made it clear, enough is enough. Attorney General Pamela Bondi coded his remarks from Washington, calling the operation a decisive message to every transnational gang that believes it can operate with impunity inside U.S. borders. Officials emphasized that Operation Take Back America, the federal campaign under which the investigation was conducted, will continue targeting Mexican Mafia-linked Sureño operations across the western United States. Behind the courtroom announcements and press headlines, federal analysts are still working through what they call the financial and digital remains of the gang's empire. Evidence recovered from encrypted devices shows that the Oakland Sureños maintained direct communication with imprisoned members at Pelican Bay Corcoran and Salinas Valley State Prison using coded slang and banking intermediaries to route cash through third-party accounts. The FBI's Digital Forensics Unit and the IRS Criminal Investigation Division are now tracing those money trails to expose the higher-tier facilitators still embedded in the system. These weren't street corner dealers, one agent said. They were logisticians, people who knew how to move drugs, guns, and money across counties without leaving fingerprints. Authorities confirmed that multiple suspects have already agreed to cooperate with federal investigators in exchange for reduced sentences, potentially providing testimony that could lead to further indictments inside California's prison hierarchy. The aftermath of the raid has brought both relief and fear to Oakland's communities. Residents say the arrests mark the first time in years that gang graffiti has begun to disappear overnight rather than multiply. But officials caution that remnants of the Sureños network still exist, scattered across smaller cells now under full federal surveillance. Law enforcement agencies across the Bay Area are coordinating to prevent regrouping efforts, while community task forces prepare to restore areas once dominated by gang control. The Justice Department confirmed that financial seizures, forfeited properties, and vehicles tied to the gang will be redirected toward community programs and victim assistance in East Oakland. In the words of one FBI official, these were not street thugs. They were soldiers in a prison army, and tonight, that army has fallen. But our mission doesn't end here. We will stay on these streets until every last remnant of that command structure is gone.